Alright, game, or I should say match 4. We'll go after the, or I don't know why I said go after, but I will designate Obosh as my companion. And, you know, this hand is looking pretty good. Not perfect, but, what can I say? I have been liking these Flame Slashes. They have been dealing with basically any creature the opponent has early in the game, which is what they're there for, and what I usually do with burn spells anyway. Blister Coil Weird will allow for early beats, which is good. So let's see. Isn't it kind of odd? We play Blister Coil Weird even though it's a blue-red card, but Is It Prowess doesn't? You know, of course, Is It Prowess doesn't even play Basic Island anyway, so the hybrid nature of this really doesn't come into play. I think I just want to get the Mausoleum Wanderer off the table, because next turn they might have Rattle Chains, the 2-mana, 2/1 flash creature that can give a Spirit Hexproof. And I do have to deal with this sooner or later. Obviously, using a Flame Slash on a 1/1 can seem a little cheesy, but I think that makes sense here. That card is just very, very meddling, you could say. Ooh, if they got Force and Negation, I'm in trouble. But I would have been in trouble anyway, even if I didn't deal with the Mausoleum Wanderer, because it would have kept me off of double Flame Slash. I think here I want to Bone Crush, just because the 4 damage could come in handy against the Germ Token. Thank goodness, no Force and Negation. That would have been heartbreaking. I wonder if Spirits plays Force and Negation. You know, I completely agree with Spirits playing Stoneforge Mystic. This seems to complement the rest of what the deck is doing very nicely. I agree with this, Turquoise owner. Well, I'm going to attack, and so I could play Bonecrusher Giant. Yeah, I'm going to play Bonecrusher Giant, because if they block, it's just... why would they block? Yeah, I think it's actually better to draw cards. I don't think they're going to block. I could be wrong, because, I mean, if you think about it, one of the only cards... No, I could try to Lightning Bolt them. Yeah, we'll see. I think there's a lot of upside to presenting the trade. It's not even the worst thing in the world to get another Spirit off the table. Like Merfolk, they really snowball and are better in multiples. Plus, Selfless Spirit is just pretty good in general. Okay, well, I was expecting they wouldn't block, but, you know, a couple considerations to doing that the way I did. You know, one thing is it would have been very sweet to have Light Up the Stage. Other thing is that, you know, even if they do block, I generally like trading my my creatures for theirs, because their creatures get significantly worse when they're by themselves. Like Merfolk, which I also play, the creatures kind of snowball together. So I think it's pretty good to trade. But also Seasoned Pyromancer is kind of incentivizing me to try to empty my hand. So there's that as well. Sword of Fire and Ice could definitely be a problem. I want to keep the Flame Slash for the Germ Token, but they may block with the Mutavault, and I do want to light up the stage. So I think I'm gonna Flame Slash the Stoneforge. This could be wrong, but you know, the problem is I'm pretty sure, given the way they're playing, they're probably gonna block with Mutavault, and that would be even more of a disaster if I didn't have Lightning Bolt up. Alright. Hopefully I get like a Soulscar Mage. That would probably be most ideal. Another Flame Slash ain't bad, because I'm obviously worried about them slamming slamming a Batterskull next turn. And being able to at least cleanly keep that off the table for one turn for 1 mana, pretty nice. Pretty nice. They may also be incentivized to try to put a Spirit in play and then play and equip Sword of Fire and Ice if they have a 5th mana source, which they do. That would make my Flame Slash dead. Yeah, so they're going for that, and thank goodness I got the Lightning Bolt up for that. Another good reason to keep this behind. I was in a bad spot, no two ways about it, but I think playing to my outs here did end up working out, and I'm going to keep holding the Lightning Bolt up. It's just so essential. So here's the plan. I'm going to attack, and if they block, I'm just going to use the Flame Slash. And I'm just going to let my creature die. I'm going to use the Flame Slash. I can't let them equip a creature with Sword of Fire and Ice. They're probably just going to take 1. I mean, they're not super low on life, but that's why I'm attacking here, is if they can expose their Mutavault to the Flame Slash, I'll take it. At this point, I need them to not have creatures on the battlefield. I think they intended to block, but they missed the block step. Kind of the best of both worlds. Well, I guess I'm going to go for it. I mean, you know, this means that I can't play the Bonecrusher Giant like I was intending, but I can play the Blister Coil, which I wouldn't have done otherwise, because I had to keep the Blister Coil up. I mean, keep the Lightning Bolt up. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. That also puts them down 1 land. That's got to be a misplay. It happens, I guess. We'll see. Maybe they still got another 5th land. Yup. Hopefully they go to equip the Sword of Fire and Ice, I think. Ooh, oh yeah, but this doesn't have a... If they got, like, Rattle Chains, that'd be the worst. I mean, how can I not try to bolt this, though, and respond? So if they got it, they got me. If you got it, you got me. Alright, sweet. Oh yeah, of course not, because they got Batterskull in hand, so of course they didn't have me. Well, let's see. Ooh, that was not what I wanted to see. Still got to play it, obviously. But you know, I still think it was better off the way we played, even though we couldn't maximize our Seasoned Pyromancers. Let's see. Alrighty. I am liking this. Lighting up the stage. Feels pretty good. Light up the stage is such a cool card. As soon as they printed it, and as soon as I realized that you can play it on your next turn, I was enamored with the idea of building a more grindy red deck. And my first iteration was like mono red burn with like 8 Horizon lands and Light Up the Stage, which to me felt like it grinded way better than any other burn deck I played before. And then of course I started dabbling around with mono red Prowess. I probably liking the more grindy style in general, and you know, the rest is history. Obviously then I started experimenting with the Lurrus Prowess deck. Well, I did actually go back to, I think, mono red for a while, but alright, let's focus on the game in hand. So, see, this is where actually Castle Embereth is pretty good, because let's see, 4, 5, 6. I can actually use its ability and Stomp. Yeah, I think Castle Embereth is a godsend here, and this is a very, I think that I'm thank you to the player who questioned the wisdom of taking out Castle Embereth. I'm not going to attack with the Elemental, because that's an easy block. And this makes it so there's really no good blocks. I can Castle Embereth and I can Stomp. I don't think I have the opponent dead. No, not even close. Because that's 4, 6, 8, plus they gain 4, yeah. Well, but then again, 4, 6, 8, plus another 3. No, still nowhere near. Yeah, I guess I might as well go for this. Oh yeah, actually, due to the way they blocked, I could have attacked with the elemental too. Oh no. That was like the worst possible card they could have drawn for us. I could try to draw like Lightning Bolt or Lava Dart exactly. Lightning Bolt would be particularly devastating. Or I could also play the Bone Crusher Giant, but considering they got a Sword of Fire and Ice, I gotta go for max, trying to get lucky here. Go for max luck. Nope. Not our lucky day. Man, Spell Queller. Spell Queller was... nice draw. Expecting to lose. And probably, I mean, it makes sense to play it out. Gotta try to do our best here to make an unlikely comeback. You know, and if we do have, well, because they're gonna shoot up the Spell Queller most likely with Sword of Fire and Ice, and then the Bone Crusher is lost for good, most likely. They could get greedy and try to gain a little extra life, but I think it makes a lot of sense to just suit up the Spell Queller. Yeah. I suppose maybe a Flame Slash might, if they've got absolute nothing, and I draw Flame Slash. It's not nothing, but at the same time, it's since I got the castle, the token has a bit more utility than it normally would have had, to the point where I think it's not necessarily a given that I just block with it. I'm a little surprised they go after that instead of Soul Scar. Soul Scar seems like it's a way better way of dealing with Batterskull, but we shall see. Ooh, why couldn't that be last turn? But the good news is that I think this is I think we're in pretty good shape here. I mean, I think this is probably one of the best draws we possibly could have had. So how to do this? If we attack with all, they might block this token with Supreme Phantom. Might block the weird with the Germ token. That kind of seems like the most likely play. I could, in that case, Lava Dart the Germ. I wanted Lava Dart the Germ twice, but then the problem is they can then use the Germ to suit up the Supreme Phantom or the Spell Queller. So it's not looking like a particularly good situation. So I think actually what the plan is to... Man, last turn I might have made more sense actually to try to play for Obosh, but no, I didn't know. I didn't know they had Spell Queller, you know, and that was clearly better if they did. So I think if they didn't, I mean, so I think the best we can do is maybe try to incentivize them to not to attack but not to equip. Well, but then they can still just equip Batterskull. Yeah, but at least this way I don't lose a creature in the process. You know, for all the opponent knows, I could be playing main deck Vandal Blast or something. I don't know. I remember Vandal Blast is a instant or sorcery. It's another good artifact destruction spell that doesn't conflict with Obosh, but the fact that it doesn't get around Chalice, I think, is just too much of a downside. It's fine. Well, I mean, obviously that's not fine, but it's not like the literal worst thing that could happen. Well, I think here the obvious block is a Bone Crusher Giant. So let's see, 6, 7, 8. They can't kill me with the sword just yet. So let's block with the Giant and see what happens. Alright, I'm going to try to save it. I just think I have to. And then I'm going to suit up the Phantom, but it's already tapped, so... This is like literally my only chance to win. And I don't really know how I win, but... however I win, it's got to probably involve at least one Prowess creature. I've had opponents get upset at me for not scooping in these situations before. I just think it makes for less interesting, a less interesting watching experience if I scoop too quickly. Although let me know if it's just a waste of time, if you know, or if there's some interest in seeing if I can make the unbelievably extremely almost impossible happen. Yeah, and sort of fire and ice on the rattle chains. There is also always, like, I can continue getting further ahead on the clock, and I can see what they're up to. I think I'm okay to just concede here. I guess I'll continue getting a little further ahead on the clock. I mean, I'm already this kind of invested. Probably makes a better viewing experience just to see how the rest of the game plays out. I know it does for me. Because obviously the viewer doesn't really experience tilt the same way the player does. So there's more interest in just seeing the mechanics of, what cards would have been drawn and so forth. I think, I think that there's a similar dynamic to Uro with Stoneforge Mystic in that I think the games become significantly more favored once Shattering Spree can come in, which is particularly good here because it can also hit Aether Vial, even if they're not presenting equipment that is easy to deal with. I will bring in Kozilek's Return. They seem to bring in pro-red creatures. I guess they respect the red matchup, and that's, I guess, right for them, because it's definitely incorrect for them to assume that Stoneforge Mystic is going to carry the game by itself. I think Blister Coil Weird is the weakest link here. And believe it or not, I think 2 Blood Moons is probably pretty good, because especially if we can get them off of Aether Vial, Blood Moon can make it difficult for them to hit all their mana. Although I'm not even sure if they play green. This might just be pure blue-white spirits, now that I think about it. Should have paid more attention, but I don't think... I saw a black... I saw the Silent Clearing. I didn't see a Horizon Canopy or any land... yeah, actually, now that I think about it, maybe not. Maybe Blood Moon doesn't make sense, because I'm not even sure. I don't even think they play green, so I don't think they're super likely that I cut them off a color. This could totally be wrong. Like the Soul Scar, I like the Monastery Swiftspear. But actually, Lava Dart is such a beating, though. It's so good against Rattle Chain, so good against Mausoleum Wanderer, if they still keep that in. I think Soul Scar Mage is just good enough, gets the edge over Monastery Swiftspear. I don't think they play enough Graveyard Recursion for this to be an issue. I know it seems strange to take out my 1-drop Prowess creatures, but I think I'm in the control in this matchup, and I think I feel pretty good, pretty favored in that role. And I think Lava Dart is just more likely to dominate than... I'll keep this. Again, we are the control, and so I think Lava Dart and these burn spells are more likely to dominate the game than a 1-drop Prowess creature. This has been my experience. I do think Spirits has more game than humans, partially because they can play the Stoneforge tech. Also, though, they're less susceptible to Blood Moon in the SB. Man, I can't. I don't feel like I can stomp. This would suck if they drop a I forget what it's called. You know what? I think I will stomp, and you know, because like I said, I think I am the control, and I mean, hopefully they just don't think about this too much and they let it go. But I think they're going to counter it, which is fine. This is not a misplay. If the OP discovers this content, I just feel like I am the control. I wanna get cards out of my hand. Ooh. Well, that in particular makes me regret that. Seasoned Pyromancer will help draw me into the lands I need to play Obosh. And it gives me tokens. I think I will. I mean, this could leave me so vulnerable to. This could leave me so vulnerable to a Stoneforge Mystic, but I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, I feel like I have to try to control the board. And there's so many 3 toughness creatures that have to be dealt with that it just didn't feel right to use a Flame Slash there. Unfortunately, that does mean I will be losing the Flame Slash, but I would have probably... Do I ditch the Shattering Spree, actually? Maybe so. You know what? I'm going to ditch the... I'm going to ditch both the Flame Slash and the Shattering Spree. I know that seems weird, but I really want to... ramp. I mean, not ramp, but I really want to draw more lands. Didn't, unfortunately. Have another land drop? No. Alright. I have to imagine this this does incentivize them to be in a more defensive posture. Ditching Shattering Spree could end up being wrong, but I like the idea of grinding through, I mean, you know, like churning through more of the deck. With more Seasoned Pyromancers, I obviously draw more burn spells. And what I really want to do is I want to ensure that I can hit 5 mana for Obosh. Ooh, and Lava Dart would seem to be pretty good. And I think if I play Lava Dart, I think I'll do it at the end of turn. Well, just light up the stage definitely makes things interesting. So I could attack. That would be kind of a bluff, because I might have another Bone Crusher. But realistically, why not make the bluff? I could attack with all, and then basically guarantee light up the stage. I actually like that. I think using one of the tokens as just fodder for turning up light up the stage is actually a pretty good use of it. Yeah, I think this is good. You might path my my Seasoned Pyromancer. That would be excellent for us if they do. What I'm really hoping is that we see another land. Wow. Okay. I guess this incentivizes me to try to go for it. I'm predicting a Rattle Chains, but I can deal with both the Mausoleum Wanderer in response, and I can deal with the Rattle Chains with the other Firebolt. Although I'm going to wait until they target it. Otherwise, they can target Rattle Chains itself with the ability, and then I can't use Firebolt on it. Yeah, this is fine. It's fascinating that I'm having trouble drawing the last land. Yeah, let's get this dealt with. Play the Spirits matchup enough to know about Rattle Chains. Avoiding getting blown out by this is pretty It's a pretty big part of the the specific dynamic of this matchup. It's such a powerful card when they can use it to protect a creature. And giving all their spirits flash is very real too. All right, and that is why I held on to the Flame Slash. Or, well, actually, technically I ditched it, but this is what I was hoping to use the Flame Slash on. Oh, there's the 5th land. So to put Obosh in hand or to go for Seasoned Pyromancer, I think going for Seasoned Pyromancer because I can get under Spell Queller. So I'm gonna just attack with Seasoned Pyromancer. It's a bluff, but I don't think it's a bluff that can be punished, and I might score another 2 damage. Yeah, in my experience, the opponents they're generally not too worried about bluffs, so they would walk right into a Bone Crusher Stomp, usually, in my experience. But yeah, it was a pretty free bluff, so why not? Yeah, I really like casting Seasoned Pyromancer when it's clear I get a clean draw 2 without having to discard anything nice that I want to hold on to. I got a feeling that the opponent's got a Batterskull in their hand without even Stoneforge Mystic, in which case I'm really hoping to draw another Shattering Spree. Short of Light and Shadow. That's actually pretty good, too. But having to go shields down has got to be kind of scary for them. Pretty sure the obvious play here is to put Obosh in hand and play Soulscar Mage. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I can almost always use the mana. Yeah, so if they tap out, they are exposing themselves to a world of hurt. Question is to sack Fiery Islet or not to sack. Depends on what they do. Alright, that's fine. They bring back Supreme Phantom. I think I just bolted at end of turn. Yeah, sacking it seems nice. Sacking the land seems nice, but actually, yeah. What's the downside, really? I guess if they got Force and Negation. Yeah, I don't think there's a ton of downside to sacking. Because realistically, if I bolt in a turn, what am I hoping to draw? Another bolt? Like, yeah, I think sacking still makes more sense. Yeah, plus I might just draw another land. Ooh! Bingo! Alright. I guess there is literally no reason not to start off with Obosh. Get the party started, so to speak. I'm going to lead off with Lightning Bolt, just because if they've got Force and Negation, I'd rather them Force and Negation the Lightning Bolt than the Shattering Spree. I could replicate it to make it so that they can't actually Force and Negation it, but I don't think they've got it anyway. And they're going to take a lot of damage. Can I even get lethal? 4, 6. And then this can be an additional 3. Slava Dart? No, nowhere near. But I think I'm threatening lethal next turn. Yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping to do. And well, Firebolt. Oh, you know what I can do? I can actually flashback Lava Dart, get rid of the Cura Shield, and then flashback Firebolt. And I think that makes more sense than the Flame Slash. Although I can actually do all of the above, and then I can Firebolt them, and then bring them down to 12, and then they block the Obosh, but then they take 4. Yeah, then they take at least 8. Realistically, let's see. I'll cast 3 spells, so that'll make Soul Scar a 4. Actually, the half block Soul Scar. So then they take 6. Nah, still not lethal. So I am going to implement the Lava Dart, getting rid of the shield, just in case I got Path to Exile this way. This way, Firebolt still deals with it pretty cleanly. And I'm going to attack with the token too, because they have to block. And see, gaining a little extra time on the clock came in handy, because now I'm below, but I'm not as below. And whoever's ahead on the clock has the advantage of being under less pressure, which is a very real advantage. So now even if they got the Batterskull token, I've got the Flame Slash, or the Firebolt for 4 out of the graveyard. Pretty good spot to be in, if I say so myself. Yeah, I think we'll run it back. This is about the best. And I do think they're on just blue-white. I didn't see a lot of basics, but I have to imagine they play them. I could play 1 Blood Moon, but then actually I think there's a very real chance that shutting off my own Horizon lands might end up doing more harm than, good. More harm to me than harm to them, I should say. Yeah, I can't keep this, unfortunately. 0 pressure, and I could just get mana screwed too easily. Yep, and this is significantly better. And you know what? I am going to put a Soul Scar to the bottom, because like I said, I am the control, and actually Lava Dart can be pretty sweet against Mausoleum Wanderer and a lot of their deck. Alright, first time they've actually played a Aether Vial on turn 1, which, actually means that their hands were a little subpar before. Something to keep in mind, this is a very solid deck, even with subpar hands. They were doing pretty good. The Stoneforge tech definitely gives this deck a lot more grinding power. At the given expense of some speed, though. There is that. I think I'm just going to wait to see what they do. I'm not under pressure to blow a lot of spells, unless they force me to. I'm guessing this is a Path to Exile, which is fine by me. Yeah, Path to Exile is a 2-for-1 for them, if I can use the land. And the good thing is, with this deck, I definitely can use the land. It was pretty easy end of turn Lava Dart. Maybe not, actually, because if they save it... If they save it, it's kind of whatever. And what am I supposed to do? Flame Slash it? Yeah. That's the nice thing about Lava Dart, is, like, since it still has value out of the graveyard... Yeah, that's fine. Getting Rattle Chains out of their hand, I think, is well worth it. So... probably I want to hit the Rattle Chains. Yeah, obviously I want to hit the Rattle Chains, because the Mausoleum Wanderer can just counter my stuff. I wonder if there's some merit, though, to putting Obosh into my hand. And I think the answer is no, especially since I got Path to Exile. Play this carefully. Another question is whether to hold on to the Flame Slash or to use it on the Wanderer. I think I'm going to hold on to it. This could be wrong, but I don't want to go 2 shields down. Plus, I can always use the Lava Dart. In fact, I'm wondering if maybe I should just do that now. I will, actually. Hopefully they don't have, like, another instant speed spirit. Yeah, not that I'm aware of. Yeah, so many good targets for Lava Dart. I have a feeling they got a Drogskull Captain, the card that gives their creatures +1/+1 and hexproof. It definitely makes me very disincentivized to going for the Flame Slash here. I don't like this position. I want more burn spells, but so the question is to go for Obosh or to go for Bone Crusher Giant. I think. See, the thing is, I can always Flame Slash if they've got a Spell Queller. I think Bone Crusher Giant. That could be wrong, but they're not presenting a lot of creatures that need to have spells doubled, and I kind of want them to play a Spell Queller here. So they got double Drogskull Captain. That could be a big problem, but I'm going to play Monastery Swiftspear and not attack. There could have been value to bluffing if they do have double Drogskull Captain, but in my experience, like I said, they usually bluffs don't do anything on Magic Online. I'm not even sure if they do much in paper. I think they do though, because I do remember going for a few bluffs in some of the few paper tournaments I played in, and I think the opponent generally did not take them. They still might have a Drogskull Captain. Getting to the point though where I just can't. I can't use these Flame Slashes on this. This is also just so much better if I've got Lava Dart. I'm going to attack. I'm going to put Obosh in my hand. I know that if they have Drogskull Captain, they can make this be a chump block, but in that case, they expose Drogskull Captain to my Flame Slash, which I think is worth it. I'm more than willing to trade my Swiftspear for their Captain if that's the case. By that same token, am I willing to just trade my Flame Slash now for their Drogskull Captain? That would have exposed them to 2 more damage from the Swiftspear, which could be a misplay. Yeah, okay, I misplayed. If we lose with them at 2 life, then we know what happened wrong. But I think it's worth it to bait the Drogskull Captain out and to use the other Flame Slash on it. Oh, best of all worlds. Really feel bad about this. About not doing this pre-combat because I wish I had a lot of free damage. That being said, this is very, very good because this means I can Flame Slash again. Oh yeah, right. They're indestructible. Well, better than Drogskull Captain though. I can still. Actually, I did more damage because the indestructible would have soaked up one of my attacks. So funny enough, even though it seemed like a misplay, it actually turned into not a misplay. I mean, it was still, I guess, a misplay, but it turned out that it actually was better this way. So the plan is obviously play Obosh. Actually, if I draw... Yeah, I gotta go for Obosh. But next turn I can actually replicate the Shattering Spree, and that makes it so that Spell Queller won't be actually a very good counterspell. Even if they can path the Obosh, it's Still presenting not very good blocks. I'm guessing they've got a rattle change here. Oh yeah, of course they got the indestructible. Still think I'm in a pretty good position. Ooh, that definitely helps them. But the good news is I do have the Shattering Spree. I really want to be able to deal with the Spell Color, like, right now. Hopefully they don't have another one. Kind of looks like they might. I need to be able to hit that Batterskull. Yeah, forcing chump blocks ain't the worst thing in the world. I will play the land, just, you know, Seasoned Pyromancer in the deck. Incentivizes this. Hopefully I can draw some type of burn spell on for the Spell Queller, hit the Stoneforge, bait out the Batterskull. I think I have to actually just deal with this preemptively, unfortunately, now. But the good news is if I still have a burn spell, I'm in a commanding position, as long as I don't have another Spell Queller. But I think actually right now I can Shattering Spree in advance, force the Spell Queller ahead of time, but with replicated copies. Let's see. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to replicate for 3, or for 4 actually, because the reason being, that makes it so they can't Spell Queller or anything. I have to force it out, and I'm just in such a commanding position. There's really no reason not to max kick it, so to speak. So I'll replicate it 3 times. So 2 on the Aether Vial, 2 on the sword. Two on the sword, 2 on the vial. This will force out whatever they have, if they have anything. They don't. I am in a commanding spot. In fact, I think this is lethal. If they don't have Force of Negation, which they don't because I got Batterskull. GG's, as they say. Wow. What a ground out game. Nice. Alright, plan for the trophy. Let's see.